So today I'm going to be talking specifically about an area that I don't see a lot of accountability in, and that's the Super Bowl. And specifically we're going to talk about how to raise the level of accountability with Super Bowl ads. So what is the Super Bowl? Let's talk about that for a minute. The Super Bowl is a moment of intense joy and extreme attentiveness and unbridled excitement. It's a time, even better than all of that people watch your ads and actually pay attention and engage with your brand. Seriously, you guys, isn't the Super Bowl the best? You spend $5 million and you get to reach 100 million people all at the same time, and they care. They actually care. And it's the pinnacle of creativity. There's sex, there's celebrities, there's puppies, there's monkeys, and there's babies, and there's puppy monkey babies. You can literally do whatever you want and get away with it. That's right, the Super Bowl is Christmas for the advertising community. So whether you're an account guy, or a media girl, or a creative, or a client, or anybody that has a pulse and feels joy, it truly is glorious. So you can imagine how I feel when my job is to burst into the room on Christmas morning and say, hey guys, can we use data to create and tell better stories? I think all of you in this room would probably say the same thing that my agency first told me. Shut up, dork. Yes, this is the beginning of the story that I like to call the quick story of how Jerry Beers ruined Christmas. That's me, little joy killer right there at age 7. This is incidentally my first day at Saatchi as well. But in all seriousness, to truly ruin Christmas, we got to ask ourselves some really hard questions to start driving accountability in the Super Bowl. And the first of which is the one that analytics like to ask all the time. What are we trying to achieve? Basically, what I'm asking you guys to do is set Super Bowl objectives before you produce work. And your work will get better, I promise. I'm not here to tell you how to set objectives. I'm not familiar with each of your brands or the brand challenges that you face. However, I will say you can't do everything. So limit your objectives to only the most important things, and you'll see your Super Bowl performance blossom. So now that we have Super Bowl objectives, we need to figure out what our measurement strategy is. And I bucketed Super Bowl objectives into 2 camps. One is, how do we want to land our creative? So what do we want people to feel and think as they watch the ad? So these are pretty easy things you're probably familiar with. Do they remember the ad? Did they like it? Can they remember our message? Can they remember our brand? All that kind of stuff. Do they want to watch it again? And then the other side of the equation is behavioral outcomes. What can we expect people to actually do after they watch this? I would love them to go buy a car. I would also love them to go to a dealership, go to our website, search for our brand, share something online, basically anything to show that they're kind of listening and watching. If you can choose your KPIs carefully, your work will benefit greatly from it. Now that we have our objectives and KPIs set up, can we use data to create a scoring system based on those objectives and KPIs? Absolutely you can. Like a weighted index, maybe? Now we know what we want to do with the Super Bowl, we basically just need to prioritize our objectives and KPIs and give them weights according to what we want to do. I would recommend going a little bit more towards creative than business, and the reason for that is that you're on pretty equal footing with all other brands in the Super Bowl from a creative perspective. But when it comes to business, you don't know what they're trying to do. They have different products that are in different life cycles and in completely different industries. So what makes a good weighted index? It reflects marketing objectives. It utilizes converging data sources. You want to weight your responses based on creative. And then finally, you want to include all the Super Bowl ads, all of them, in your weighted index. And the reason for this is that if I go back and I tell Toyota, you did great, and then they say, well, how did Honda do? I don't know. That's not really a great answer. I want to be able to look at them and say, we did better than these brands, worse than these brands. And so it's really important to have the full set in there, and it's more fun. So now you have all of the stats and the numbers, and basically you just go backwards as far as you can get those numbers and figure out what ads performed well and what ads didn't perform well. And you have it based on that weighted index. So that's half the fun. The other part of the fun is this. Basically putting all your ads on the left side and putting a bunch of variables along the top. The key there is that you can start picking it apart and start having opinions on what works and what doesn't in terms of creative elements that combine. So then what? So like all good analysts, I have to present this data somehow. I might as well make it a little bit entertaining so creatives will listen to me, right? So we're going to group this based on ads that focus on entertainment versus ads that focus on business. And for the sake of segmentation, I'm going to use men's 80s hairstyles because I don't know. I don't know why. I guess I'm into that stuff. But so the first segment will be the 80s hairband. And this one is all entertainment and zero business. So it's all party and no business. Basically, these are ads that go for the jugular on entertainment. But you could pretty much swap the brand out and no one would know. The next one is the side part. This is all business and no party. And these are just strictly informational ads. So it's similar to stuff that you might see if you're watching The Price is Right on a Thursday, but somehow it made its way in the Super Bowl. And the final segment, and I think some of you who are familiar with men's haircuts know what's coming. It's the glorious mullet. Business in the front, party in the back. It's everyone's favorite, and it also does perform better than all the rest. And this is one where truly the creative is formed around the brand, so you can't really separate the two. If you took the brand out or tried to swap it for a different industry or brand, you'd likely have really a boring, weird ad that didn't make a lot of sense. By far and away, the most popular thing that people do is the 80s hairband. It's very hard to get a mullet, but this talk is all about how to grow a mullet, so hopefully after this you'll be able to do it. So let's go one by one and give you an example of how each works. So first, the 80s hairband. I apologize for this up front.
Man, I might just chill tonight.
Puppy monkey baby. 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 Puppy monkey baby.
Mountain Dew Kickstart. Dew, juice, caffeine.
Puppy monkey baby.
So all of you at some point today, whether it's right after this or before you go to sleep, are going to hear that puppy monkey baby in your head and have a shiver go down your spine. It's a creepy animal, I know it, but you got to ask yourself after you watch that, could that be for anything other than Mountain Dew? And the answer is yes. It could be for gum, it could be for blue jeans, it could be for the couch they were sitting on, it could be for basically anything. And that's the key with the hairband ads. Next is the side part.
A leading consumer testing publication recently tested the top laundry detergents. The winner, Persil 2-in-1, didn't only beat Tide, it beat every single detergent tested. Boom. Switch to Persil Pro Clean 2-in-1, #1 rated.
So even though he's wearing a tuxedo, that's not going to cut it in terms of entertainment goes for the Super Bowl. That was a pretty business-first ad, right? And then last, let's watch a mullet ad.
No, I can't forget this evening or your face as you were leaving, but I guess that's just the way the story goes.
It's hard to resist great taste. Meet the ketchups.
So awesome, I know. I can't say anything about how bad that is because it's amazing. Every part of it is great. Puppies do perform great. That is not a myth. But basically, could that be for any other brand than Heinz? Probably not, unless it was some weird hot dog ad that we don't want to watch. So the next thing, the fourth question is, can we use the weighted index to improve future creative? Also, again, the answer to this is absolutely. So we go back to our tone and borrowed equity. So these are the creative elements again, and we now have a database that we can query. And I have creatives that regularly come into my office and actually give the data guy scripts and ask, Jerry, is this going to do well? I think that's a pretty amazing thing, that the data guy is getting to inform directly to a creative what he should change to make it funnier, what he could change to make it make branding go up, or how to use a celebrity, or how to not use a celebrity. It's kind of a cool synergy. So again, this is just to review how to build an accountable and entertaining Super Bowl ad. You start with objectives, please. Set measurable objectives and KPIs. Measurement, create a measurement strategy. I think we talked about a weighted index today. creative, design creative to deliver against your objectives, and feedback loops. Analyze results to improve future performance. And obviously be remiss if I didn't include something about how Toyota performed during this. And without giving out any state secrets, from 2012 to 2015, only 1 out of 6 Toyota ads finished in the top 15 in our weighted index. Since implementing the system, half of Toyota Super Bowl ads have scored in the top 15. So it's cool and it works. Go data. Christmas is back and it's better than ever. Thank you guys for your time. I'm Jerry Beers.